Yo, what's up guys? So in this video, we're going to be playing some motorcycle, and I actually think the deck is quite good in the meta ever since the EQ got nerfed last season, since you don't have to like worry about all of that. And then Valkyrie is used more than Knight, I feel like, by all of the top mortar players because of the amount of like 3 Musketeers and Royal Hogs. So I guess Valkyrie just like works a bit better in the deck, but Knight is definitely still viable, I would say. So let's see here, probably going to be facing like Golem or Graveyard or something to start off here. I'm kind of hoping it's Golem because it's probably like a really good matchup for Mortar, I would say. Okay, he's gonna have a Witch, so it's a free rocket, but it doesn't tell me too much about the deck. He's like spamming us pretty hard right now with the crying emote. So maybe we'll BM if we win. Alright, he's gonna Golem in middle. Yeah, so actually, I like this deck. I've been considering maining one of these type of mortar decks on ladder, since it's pretty similar to the cards you use in Expo. Like you have the archers, the log. The defense is pretty similar, just like the rocket. For like a lot of matchups where you can't get a mortar lock, you just have to rocket cycle. But yeah, it definitely is like a deck that's fun to play. Now I would consider like switching to if Expo ever got like too bad in the meta. So definitely good to get some practice in. He's gonna mortar on offense, because I don't think he has like too many ground cards in hand. Like he used Witch and Golem. So you're gonna get some nice hits off on the right side. I should have actually split my archers a little bit earlier. Kind of underestimated how long it would take the baby dragon to kill the mortar, but it's whatever. Just use our Ice Spirit to not take any damage. And he's gonna go ahead and give us a thanks. So yeah, this matchup is actually nice to be able to counter a Golem deck for once, because normally if I'm playing Expo, like I have to sweat against Golem, but in this case, like I have Rocket and Tornado, and I don't think he has a Lightning. So I can just Rocket Nado his entire push and it's gonna like kill everything. So let's just go Rocket on his E-Trag. And okay, he just like played a Witch right into that. So definitely gonna take the value. Yeah, I don't know why he's laughing, because that was like a horrible Witch on his end. Like he's not having a Rocket Nado, so I don't know why he would place all of his units together like that. So yeah, basically just have to like keep up the pressure and then throw like 4 rockets. If you don't get a mortar lock, that would be enough damage to take his tower, I think. Let's see, I'm just gonna go archers down low and probably rocket again if he goes E-Drag. He's probably gonna place it to kill my archers, so yeah, I'm just gonna rocket before my archers die, so they can help to DPS his golem down. Then I'm gonna mortar again up high. Unfortunately, his Witch targets my archers instead of the mortar, so they are gonna die now, but second back to another set. Just gonna play them high to snipe his baby drag. And we actually did get like 1 mortar shot there, and it's so locked on towers, so that should be a good game. Just gonna mortar log. Actually, log's not gonna do enough. Hopefully my archer gets a hit. Okay, the mortar got another shot off. So gonna be a good game. Pretty solid matchup to start off the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, so we're gonna be facing Shin _D, and I'm gonna go mortar first play. It's a pretty safe starting play with this deck. Like I see Aaron do it a lot. He's the best mortar player, at least with this deck. And I think he has a YouTube as well, so if you want to go check it out. He posts like a lot of top ladder with this mortar deck. And let's see, yeah, gonna be against GY. So pretty bad matchup. I think with Expo, like, it counters most graveyard decks, but this definitely is not optimal because I can't like go Expo opposite after they graveyard and like punish them for using a bad poison. Since like all they have to do is spam a tombstone in the middle and I can't like do anything with my mortar. But in this case, I think he didn't have his tombstone in cycle right away. So I guess a pretty good mortar on our end kind of got him in a bad hand where he didn't have any ground cards. I think his hand there was like a baby dragon, barbarrel, poison, and then maybe like another air card. Or like, maybe he thought he could get back to tombstone fast enough, but he couldn't. So yeah, we definitely like can't get a mortar lock in double, so it's good that we got damage early on, I guess. And this is just a rocket cycle game. Like I can't get a mortar lock. That's the only thing annoying about this deck, is that there's a lot of matchups where you can't get a mortar lock if they just happen to have the right answers. I'm actually gonna nail the Ice Witch back. Alright, perfect. So it's gonna lock on tower. He might go in here, but I'm just gonna archer the middle. for his Skelly King. And yeah, I think I can just like go with Log, and then shouldn't take like too much damage. I'm just gonna go Ice Spirit Skellies on the other side. Yeah, so not bad. We do still come out on top. And I'm gonna go Mortar again, since I think he's gonna have to Tombstone. But maybe if he like plays it late, it'll splash. Yeah, so I just wanna like kill his Tombstone as fast as possible before he gets a chance to just like play it in the middle, and I just have to not be able to Mortar for a while. But at least we like have it out of cycle now, and I think we actually get a Mortar lock. Yeah, not like a good barbell on his end. Just makes it really easy for me to log it and get a few Mortar shots out of it. See, that's what I'm talking about. If I had an Expo right now, like, this would be a really good opportunity for me to Expo. And probably, like, just win the game. Since he, like, poisoned my archers. And then he wouldn't have enough to deal with, like, my Expo. But since I have Mortar, it's not really as much of an offensive threat. So he can afford to go for those really aggressive poisons and still be able to have enough to Tombstone and play all the counters for my Mortar. So that is, like, the one annoying thing about this deck. The offensive pressure isn't as good as with Expo. So I'm just gonna like Rocket now. Since he's gonna like poison GY, get a similar amount of damage. So I'm just gonna like Mortar on defense. This could be a bad play. I don't really know if defensive mortars are good with this deck or not. But we're just gonna see like if it does anything. Then just Valkyrie for all those Skellies, and then Archer's gonna snipe his baby drag. And I think there's like 2 more rockets. Like Rocket Log NATO does not do that much. Pretty sure, so I'm just gonna Rocket now. And then he's probably gonna go in and try to spam us right now. So we do have to watch out. I think we like 2 cards from Rocket now, so I'm just gonna go Archers. Might want to save my Log for his graveyards. I'm just gonna like wait, see if the RNG makes me have to Log here before I have enough to Rocket. But yeah, looks like my tower is targeted on the skeletons anyways. So there we go, beating a pretty bad matchup, getting like a lot of damage in single. Then essentially just rocket cycling the rest of the game. Okay, so we're going to be facing Killer here from a number 1. And do not have Mortar in the starting hand, which is unfortunate, but we can just try to cycle to it ASAP. See what he's going to have. Okay, Fire Spirit. I don't have to play anything on that since like it's going to jump on my skeleton anyways. So I'm going to go Rocket on his Archer Queen. If this is Royal Hog Cycle, then we probably have a decent matchup. I think with Knight, it's a lot worse because you don't have a great way. Okay, yeah, so I think Valkyrie Log is going to be pretty much our primary defense to the Royal Hogs, because if you Valk Log, it's only going to get 1 hit on tower every time. Whereas if you have like Knight, then you kind of have to save your Rocket for the Royal Hogs a lot, or like even just like Mortar Log Archers, which can kind of be a lot. And they can sometimes get some damage out of it, but we just have the guaranteed like preventing all but 1 hit. That's definitely going to help us out in this matchup. So one of the reasons why Valkyrie is a lot better in this deck, even though EQ got nerfed, there's still a lot of people playing this one Royal Hog variant. So you want to like be sure to counter it as best as possible when considering like the variant of Mortar you're playing. So let's see, he's gonna have to cannon that. To be honest, I'm gonna go Rocket on his tower, even though it's only single. I feel like he can't really punish me for it because he doesn't have Royal Hog in cycle. Then I can defend his queen for pretty much the even amount of elixir. Since he spends like 6 and I have to spend like only 2 pretty much to counter it. And I could have gone NATO as well, and it still would have only been an even trade. But since I did Rocket on his tower, we were probably down a few elixir anyways, so I don't really mind taking a hit, since we still got like almost 600 damage from the Rocket. And then if he goes Royal Hogs, I think I'll Rocket them. Yeah, I could go Mortar, but he's gonna like get a free EQ off on it, which I guess would not be the end of the world, but it's gonna get the guaranteed 0 damage on the tower. And I don't know if I want to go same lane or not. I think it's probably better, to be honest, since I can keep log cycling like on his Archer Queens and stuff. So let's go Tornado. I want to like bring those into my Valk's range so we don't take any hits. And then I'm gonna go Skelly's Log. And at this point, like we pretty much just have to defend his Royal Hog perfectly, and then throw a couple rockets on his tower, and we should be able to win. He has this in like a weird cycle though, where we have to keep going Tornado on his Royal Hogs. I would rather go just Valkyrie Log and not have to Tornado. So I'm gonna like try to save my log next time maybe. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna go log in his queen. Since I want to get some tower damage, I'm just gonna rock it now. Since I can do the same thing, I guess, with Alex Skelly's Ice Spirit. And it should pretty much deny all damage. Alright, perfect. So we have his tower down to 1600. I think that's 2 rockets, 2 logs. Never mind. Actually, it's probably like 3 rockets, to be honest. I don't really know how much rocket does actually. I should have probably checked that. So maybe I should have went tornado, but we're probably up elixir now anyways, and he can't really push into my Valk. So I'm just gonna like get a free rocket off on his tower. And then he's probably gonna spam us now. So just have to watch out. I'm gonna Valk on his queen, and then probably tornado his hogs in if he goes offensive right now. But okay, he's not going in, so I'm gonna rocket tower. And I think like a log NATO. Okay, it's not gonna do enough damage since tornado only does like 80 or something like that. But we already cycled back to another rocket. Do manage to beat the raw hog EQ deck I was talking about at the beginning of the video. So I guess it kind of shows you how you want to play the matchup. It's a lot of rocket cycling because you can't really get a mortar lock. So it looks like we're going to be facing Floriano here from Dark Dragon. And I'm going to go Ice Spirit at bridge, probably going to bait out a response. Unless he just decides to take the damage, which I guess is fine. Minions in back. Oh gosh, this better not be some variant of Giant Graveyard, since that is probably one of the worst matchups for this type of deck. Like, we have archers, but normally Giant GY decks have arrows as well, and then there's really no way you get a mortar lock. But luckily we're going to be facing Sparky, which I guess is like probably a hard counter for us, I would say. And unfortunately, like, I did get my rocket down fast enough, so Sparky ended up killing everything on the left, which was not ideal since he would have had to spend a decent amount of elixir, since it was like a Valkyrie archer going down the lane. So I'm just Skelly's up high. I think it should fully... Okay, never mind. You can fully counter with like Skeletons or Ice Spirit, but it's pretty hard to time it. So we got a couple hits off there on the right side. I mean the left side. So he's just gonna Giant and the mini P.E.K.K.A behind. I think we just have to go for the out cycle, since he won't have like his Giant or anything for our next mortar. So I'm gonna go Skellies, and we get some damage, but I feel like we're gonna take damage as well. And just like praying the tower kills the Giant quickly. Okay, we actually don't really take that much damage at all on the right tower actually, since that tornado kind of came in clutch there. And yeah, there's not like too much he can do to break through us as a Sparky player, since we pretty much just rocket the Sparky anytime he plays it. And then Mortar gets so much value on defense, since like Fireball, I think this deck runs Fireball. At least most Giant Sparky decks do. But yeah, it's not really gonna do anything to my Mortar. It's still gonna do the job in defense. I guess I go back to another one. Even if he plays a spell on it, it's not gonna die. So like, he can't like do anything about it. So let's just go with Mortar, and then might have to go for like a tornado now just to pull everything away. And then since he doesn't have arrows and cycle back, we can just arch it down low, and it's gonna pretty much clean everything up. Don't even take any Giant hits on the left. So going for another Mortar, he might like let it get a lock. Okay, he's gonna E-Wiz actually. It would have locked on tower since the mini P.E.K.K.A and the Giant were too close to the Mortar, so like wouldn't have been in range. And yeah, that's a pretty bad Sparky because I could just go Rocket Tornado. We would have been able to like win it pretty much anyways just by Rocket Log Tornado. But yeah, that was still a pretty bad Sparky placement on his end. So yeah, I guess like a really good matchup, not too much to say. You're just like rocket cycling them and like going rocket whenever they Sparky. Alright, so just gonna go for one more game here and hopefully get a good matchup. He's gonna ignore my Ice Spirit. We'll keep cycling stuff in the back, then probably go in for a Mortar at the bridge. Did I cycle a log? Okay, kind of expected it to be like a cycle deck of some sort. But bowler. I can try to activate my King Tower, but I don't know if it's gonna work since I like never used Tornado. Alright, looks like we actually missed the King activation. I know it's possible if you play like a tanky troop like a Valk and then a Tornado as well. Or even just like anything like a Bomber or a Wizard, like you could just pretty much activate with anything with the Tornado. If they have a Bowler coming down the lane. Because I know I've done it before in like previous videos where I use Expo Tornado decks. But I wasn't exactly sure. Maybe I had to place the Valk one tile lower. I'm definitely going to try to do it again though the next time he goes for a Bowler. Okay, our Mortar's going to lock on tower. I don't know. He probably just didn't have enough elixir to play the Bowler immediately. It's my best guess. But I'm going to go Archers and then hopefully just like not fail it once again. I think it should like take one more hit. He's going to shoot the Archer on the right, which is like a bit closer to the King Tower. So we do end up getting the activation. He could have like Graveyard or something. And if they're using Graveyard, of course, then like King Tower activation is really good. But okay, it looks like he's gonna have a Goblin Drill. That's actually another good reason why you want to use Valk over Knight, is because I think Goblin Drill was the #1 win condition in the top 1000. Like they posted the statistics on Royale API, and I'm pretty sure Goblin Drill was the top win condition of last season. Somehow I didn't get like buffed or anything. I guess people are just like finally figuring out like if it works in the meta or not, and apparently it does. So yeah, there's another reason why you want to use Valk. It's a lot better against the Goblin Drill. So I'm just gonna take the Rocket on the Bowler, to be honest, since like he can't really do anything when I have my King activated. Like his Goblin Drill is not really gonna get too much value. I feel like we can defend fine even if we're pretty aggressive with our Rockets. That's like the one thing about this deck that's fun, is because you can rocket their tower and then still have like a really easy time defending, because you have like the Valk, the Tornado, the Rocket, like basically all your defensive cards are just like so good. So they're never really gonna be able to break through, even if you like commit so much elixir on offense with Spell Cycle. So let's see, I'm gonna go Skelly's just around his Executioner, and then I think I'll just defensive Mortar. If he goes P.E.K.K.A, I'm gonna Rocket it. But looks like he's gonna go Goblin Drill, which is fine. Do end up catching it with the Valk. Usually want to predict the Goblin Drill on front, since they're more likely to play it there. I'm gonna Tornado Rocket the P.E.K.K.A. Like it seems like a bad play, but you're thinking about it, like he doesn't really have any way to get damage. So, and we also have a defensive Mortar up that's gonna like basically shoot at everything at the bridge. So like kills his E-Wiz right away. Take one hit, but it's not really gonna matter too much. Like at this point, we just have to not choke on this defense. Just gonna get my log down, please. Okay, the XC actually like somehow hit my tower there, but we still won for sure. Because all we need to do is get back to one more Rocket. Just gonna Tornado the E-Wiz into the opposite lane so we don't have to deal with it. Then it's gonna keep cycling my cards so I can get back to Rocket. Triple elixir now, so definitely gonna be able to get our Rocket down fast enough before he has any chance to take our tower. So that's gonna be it for the video. Hopefully you did enjoy me playing with this motorcycle deck. Maybe I'll try to push with it this season if it's like really good in the meta. But yeah, I guess for now, peace out.